Hi, and welcome to my monthly videos, my monthly book club. This month I am reading The Inheritance Games, and this book was recommended to me by my friend, and I've read the first 13 chapters, and so far it seems pretty good. I'm going to spoil it at least a little bit. At least I've only read the first 13 chapters, so I can't spoil it a ton, but I will be spoiling some of it. So the first thing I did was I read the this thing on the cover, and this made it seem like she was this privileged girl who, maybe not privileged, but not like struggle, like an average girl who like was trying to go through high school, go to college, live her life. It says this is the first sentence. Avery Grahams has a plan for a better future. Survive high school, win a scholarship, and get out. So I guess that first sentence kind of hints at, like, bad past. But I didn't think about that in the beginning. But then there's this other quote that I think kind of sums up her as a character in at least in the first 13 chapters. It's on page 2, in case you want to know what page it is. This is the quote. Unless this was about the weekly poker game I've been running in the parking lot to finance Harry's breakfasts and sometimes my own, I had no idea what I'd done to draw the administration's attention. Sorry, I said, trying to sound sufficiently meek, but I don't. And I think that's a good little sentence to describe this character so far, because she's having these blacklisted or kind of illegal games to get money, and she's using it to actually help somebody else. So she's smart to run these games. She's generous to somebody else, and also it says, and sometimes my own. So it hints that she's also from a less fortunate, less well-off family, which you find out later in the few chapters that she is in fact in a less well-off family. Her dad is absent. I'm not sure what the deal is with her dad yet. Her mom, I think, is dead. I'm also not clear on the deal with her mom. It says that when she was 15 or something, her mom is gone. Yeah, so it says, we played every week right up until I was 15, and one of her secrets landed her in the hospital. The next thing I knew, she was gone. So, probably dead. Hospital, hints at death. But, yeah, the first 13 chapters I was going to read. This book has 91 chapters, I think, and an epilogue. Maybe not an epilogue included in there. Well, there is an epilogue, I just don't know. Ugh. This book has about 90 chapters, and so I'm going to be uploading videos hopefully 9 times every 10 chapters. I'm actually read to chapter 13 today, and I made a list of things that I want to discuss. So this is in no particular order. My first point is her friend. She has a friend named Max, and her friend named Max, her parents, I shouldn't say just her mom, but her parents monitor her cell phone usage, which is a legitimate thing to do for your child. I'm trying to find it, I can't find it. Okay, I got it. And so one of the things she can't do on her phone is when she texts, she doesn't swear because her mom doesn't like her swearing. Okay, I'm not going to read it, but it's on page 9 if you have the book. But essentially, she's just swearing, and it's I'm gonna say it, tiger. With tiger, it's a picture of a tiger that I'm looking at. So let's pretend tiger is a swear word, and she can't say a swear word, so obviously she'll do something else. But instead of coming with interesting, I can't think of anything right now, but a funny phrase, which is what I would do, she says, essentially, she goes ugh, that liger, instead of tiger, which I think is really stupid, because it's so close, but any anyone with brains can tell that it's still swearing. Like, it's not that big a deal. Or it's not that much different. Okay, that was number one. Also, it's her character is established as a very smart character. Like in the first chapter, she's called into the principal's office because she aced a physics test, and in her teacher's entire career of teaching, he had never had anyone ace a test 100%. She passed it, flying colors. He never had a student do it before, ever, and that, which is evidence that she's smart. And so why would a character who is established as a smart character have a best friend who is not doing things in a very smart way? And maybe it's the one thing that is not smart about it, but I just think that's interesting. Okay, the next and the physics test, he thinks she cheated because she's never she in her grade history she wasn't the kind of student that would ace the exam. She was the kind of person who, if she aced it, they're like, oh, maybe you cheated. And so she's like, but I didn't cheat. And you want to know? And you want, but I didn't cheat. You want proof? Well, I'll take it again right now, and I'll pass it. 100%. And so she takes the test, and then in the 13 chapters that I read, we don't actually find out. And I asked my friend about it, and she said we don't find out. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like it's an interesting thing to just put in and then forget about. We'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna skip over the more introduction parts of this, but she gets these people come and they're like, hey, our grandpa named you in his will. He's gonna give you inheritance. We're gonna read the will. And she gets $46.1 billion and all of his estates. Literally, basically everything. And there's I think there's 6 grandkids that could have gotten it. 2 girls and 4 boys. And one of the boys is like, you know what? Whatever. I didn't get it. That's cool. He's in his 20s or something, I think. Late 20s, and he's established as a Texan cowboy dude. He rides a motorcycle, has cowboy boots and all that. And he's just he's whatever, bye. And he leaves back to Texas, I guess. Maybe he comes back, but not until then. And then one of them comes and thinks she's a con artist. And I'm like, it's a smart thing, but yeah, interesting. So he thinks she's a con artist, and the other two, we don't know what those two are, but she also, the main character, also has a sister who is dating this loser of a boyfriend, I shall say. You get a better description in the book, but read the book. And I think that the way the Texan grandkid did, acted and everything, I think he was very chivalrous and very nice and polite and everything, and he's like, you know what, I didn't get it, that's fine, you got it, good for you, bye, peace out. And he just leaves, and I'm like, and then her sister's like, oh my gosh, he's cute, whatever, he's the guy. Some silly comment about oh, he's hot or whatever. And I'm like, I've heard this is a romance book, or has romance in it, and I have it on good authority that this is not the main romance plot. But so far, that is the only romance plot that I will accept. Her sister and the Texan dude. Anyway, I just looked through my book, actually, and I realized that I have actually only read to chapter 12. So ignore everything I just said. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to read till about chapter 20 or 22 or something like that. and then I'll have the next video out. But this is the Inheritance Games. I hope you read the book. First of all, so far it's pretty good. I hope you also like this video, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe and comment below about what you thought about these characters, and make sure to check out the next video when it comes out.